registered cars and trucks in the U.S., 3.5 million more than last year. S&P Global Mobility's Todd Campo says the average age has grown to 12.2 years.
The ability to sell new vehicles has been constrained while demand has been strong. And because of that, people are being forced to keep vehicles on the road longer.
And there's value in fixing an old vehicle that may have just been sitting. People are also driving more miles back essentially to where things were before the pandemic. Jeff Gilbert, the Michigan News Network.
When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. It's 9/11. I'm Dave Maurer.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. As we go throughout Monday, we're going to see lots of sunshine with a high of 62 degrees. Monday night, partly cloudy with a low at 43. Going into Tuesday, partly sunny skies with a high of 65 for the day. Wednesday, we're going to see isolated rain showers throughout the day and thunderstorms in the afternoon. Cloudy skies with a high of 69. Thursday, rain shower chances continue. We're going to see mostly cloudy skies as well with a high of 68 degrees. Friday, isolated rain showers with a high around 67. And as we go into the upcoming weekend, Saturday, isolated rain showers with a high of 71. I'm meteorologist Amanda Edwards with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Currently 49.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
Well, good morning to you. And welcome.
Good morning.
Welcome to another edition of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. And this one for a Monday morning, a little bit different. I'm actually in the studio this morning at the radio station rather than my home studio where I've been for a couple of years. And we will be back there in a couple of weeks. But for now, we're going to be helping out here at the station. So I have to get used to the buttons again. Meantime, later on after 10 o'clock, we'll have open phones for you. At 11 o'clock, we're going to talk about the Girl Scouts and a cookie fundraiser. That'll be on Focus. We're going to start this hour off talking about elementary school education awareness, health awareness, and mental health awareness. And we're going to do that with someone who is involved. She is a school counseling services lead. And we say good morning to Moran Champion. Morgan, good morning to you.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for joining us. Tell us first about Pearson. I think that's the company you work for. Tell us about that.
Absolutely. Well, Pearson is a global company in education, and we also support Connections Academy schools. It's a group of schools, 45 of them across the country.
And what is the mission, if you will, of Pearson?
Absolutely. So we believe that we are always learning. So we have different things such as testing services. And again, we support 45 virtual schools, public K-12 virtual schools across the country.
And so let's talk a little bit about this notion of introducing wellness and mental health awareness to elementary schools. When we talk about that, what grades are we talking about? How young are you going to be teaching this?
So elementary typically is grades kindergarten through 6th grade.
At what age are you starting, though? I mean, it may be kindergarten through 6th grade, but if you go into a kindergarten class and talk about these things, are they going to understand it?
Well, it's all about being developmentally appropriate with our children. So children as young as 5 years old can actually start doing deep breathing exercises and things like that that can positively impact their mental health.
So do schools have to come to you and want your services, or how do you get this program into schools?
Well, so for Connections Academy schools, we serve over 100,000 students across the country in different states. And each one of our schools has a licensed school counselor where they can provide social emotional learning and things like, again, those deep breathing exercises, making sure that our educators feel supported and supporting our students in the classroom.
Does this require parental approval?
Yes, we do. Yes, there is a consent that parents provide for allowing, their child to be seen by a school counselor.
So give us an idea of the progression of teaching wellness and mental health awareness to kindergarten through sixth grade. It's one thing to teach a kindergartner how to breathe deeply. What do you teach a fifth grader or a sixth grader?
Sure. So understanding how to recognize your own emotions can teach self-awareness. So there are different activities that, teachers can do as well as counselors to make sure that students can recognize how they're feeling in a specific situation and kind of, understand if there's a root cause that something's causing, a way that they're feeling as, a student in the classroom.
So what brought this about after all these years? Why now?
Sure. So we actually just conducted a survey with over 3,000 parents, and parents told us that they really want schools to prioritize the mental health of our young people. And with, just kind of coming out of a pandemic that really exacerbated the youth mental health crisis, we really wanted to talk about that and make sure that parents know that we are there to support them and that we want to implement some healthy practices for our students.
Have you started the program now?
Yes, we have 45 schools across the country with licensed school counselors that serve our students on a daily basis.
So what's been the reception from the students?
Students are very receptive to our school counselors because they know that they have a trusted adult that they can talk to and someone who will advocate for them.
How long does the program take? I mean, is this something they do for 5 minutes a day in the classroom? Or what do they do?
Well, school counselors are available to students and they are charged with providing academic support, social emotional support, and college and career readiness. So really a school counselor's work is never done. There are always things that they can implement, whether that's in small group settings with different students or with one-on-one help.
So that was going to be my next question, because when I think of counselors, I don't think of them in the classroom. I think of them in their office. So
Yeah.
Is this more a one-on-one type individual training?
Well, the direct services that counselors provide, again, can be one-on-one where they're having individual meetings with students. It can also be in a small group setting where they can tackle topics, like self-awareness and social awareness. But they can also do things, school counseling lessons within the classroom where they're having a larger group lesson with the students.
So I know it's available in the 45 schools that you represent. Is it available to other educational institutions now? And how do they go about?
Yes, it is. Yeah, absolutely. So yes, public schools across the country do have school counselors who are employed by the schools. However, they're typically understaffed. So that is something to take into consideration. The American School Counseling Association recommends that the ratio be 1 to 250 students, and that is not always the case across the country.
So if a school wants this program, I mean, how do they arrange for it? Or are they on their own to set it up?
Yeah, I would encourage parents to reach out to their schools and have that conversation, make sure that their child does have access to their school counselor. They could also reach out to their school district as well to see if they have any resources to provide as well.
And is there a website where they can find out more information from you?
Sure. If you would like more information on the survey that we conducted, you can go to pearsonplc.com. And if you'd like more tips and resources for your family, you can visit connectionsacademy.com/emotional fitness.
All right. Well, Morgan, thanks for spending a little time with us this morning and telling us about it. We appreciate it.
Sure. Thanks for having me.
You bet. Have a great day. Bye-bye now.
You too. Thanks.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye. All right. That was Moran Champion from Pearson, and we will take a break. And we are expecting at some point to hear from State Senator Ken Horn. The video you're looking at on our feed is in the studio now, so it's a little different view than you normally see of me at home, and I have to get used to it because the camera's in an entirely different place. So bear with me. Just keep on looking. What can I tell you? That's all. All right, we're going to take a break, and then we will be back with more on the Art Lewis Show.
It is the fundamental right of parents to direct the education of their children, unquote. That's the state law. And Representative Annette Glenn sponsored a bill to require posting that right in school offices and board meetings, fighting for parents. Paid for by Annette Glenn for State Senate.
If you owe the IRS back taxes, then get ready to pay up. The IRS has giant private collection agencies actively tracking down folks who owe the IRS. So if you think dodging them was stressful in the past, it's going to get a whole lot tougher. Optima Tax Relief has this advice. Don't wait. Solve your tax problems now before it's too late. Optima Tax Relief works to stop the demand letters, stop the aggressive collection actions, and stop the IRS collectors from targeting you. Ask Optima about the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands, and nobody knows this program better than they do. Optima is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, and they get results, having resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Get a fresh start. Call today for your free consultation.
Call 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
These days, it's getting harder and harder to find savings. But you may have more cash than you realize in your home's equity. Unlock it today with a cash-out refinance from Rocket Mortgage. In the last year, average home values have gone up nearly 20%. That means you could unlock thousands of dollars from your home. And with Rocket Mortgage, you could get all that cash in as little as 3 weeks. Put your hard-earned money to work. Pay down high-interest debt and combine your balances into one simple, low monthly payment. Now is your perfect opportunity to take control of your financial future. So what are you waiting for? When you want to consolidate debt and simplify your finances, Rocket can. Call 8338-ROCKET today or go to rocketmortgage.com to get started. That's 8338-ROCKET or go to rocketmortgage.com. Rocket. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states. NMLS ConsumerAccess.org number 3030. Call 800-490-1233 for disclosures and cost information.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Heading into the opening bell this hour, S&P 500 futures moved higher. This after the S&P fell for 7 straight weeks and flirted with bear market territory on Friday. Investors are worried about how far the Fed will go in raising interest rates to stop inflation. Last week, some retailers said inflation had cut into profits. This week, we'll see a number of high-profile earnings reports from companies including Urban Outfitters, Dick's Sporting Goods, and Nordstrom. President Biden announced a new trade deal with 12 nations in Asia and the Pacific Rim. It's aimed at pushing back against China's economic power. The deal calls for these countries to work more closely on things including supply chains, digital trade, and clean energy. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Roger Stern, invested in you.
After 9/11, Ben Harrow couldn't wait to enlist in the Army. But in Afghanistan, Ben stepped on an IED while leading an anti-terrorism mission. Ben survived but lost both of his legs above the knee, 2 fingers, and sustained injuries to his right forearm. Ben now lives in a smart home from the Tunnel to Towers Foundation, which gave him back his independence despite his severe physical challenges. Help heroes like Ben. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at t2t.org.
Struggling with CPAP? Now there's Inspire, the only FDA-approved obstructive sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body to treat the root cause of sleep apnea with just the click of a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Visit InspireSleep.com to learn more.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
Hey guys, the Royal Management Team has gathered you here in Yield Conference Room to announce that thanks to all your hard work, the granary has enjoyed record profits this year. Nice. That said, there still isn't room in the budget for raises, but we will be providing gift cards to Grimwald's Tavern. Really? I'm sorry, I've been informed they are actually coupons, not gift cards.
Throughout history, people have always been underpaid. That's why Monster lets you search jobs by salary. Find your job at monster.com or download the app.
The WSGW Morning Team Show.
WSW online poll about term limits and financial disclosure in Michigan. This November, Michigan voters will face the ballot question asking to adjust the 1992 term limit vote on lawmakers. At this time, lawmakers can serve a total of 14 years in Lansing. The new proposal would allow individuals to serve a total of 12 years overall, but there's an option of serving all that time in either the House or Senate, or still splitting the chambers. This new term limits legislation would also include a requirement for annual financial disclosures. Right now, Michigan is one of only 2 states that doesn't have any financial disclosure demands. Poll question then, if you had to vote today, how would you cast your ballot regarding new term limits and financial disclosure? Would you vote for the new term limits with the financial disclosure? Would you just vote against the new term limits and financial disclosure and leave it as it is now? Or you're not sure? How would you vote? Go to WSGW.com and tell us by voting. Check for the online poll box and make your vote that way.
The Morning Team Show, weekdays 5:30 till 9 on WSGW.
Fly ball center field deep, and that ball is gone. A home run. Wow, it just kept going. Javi Baez with a line drive to center field.
The Tigers play 7:20 tonight on 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW, the Art Lewis Show, and it's been a while since I've done this, but let me see if it works, because with me now is State Senator Ken Horn. Ken, good morning.
Good morning, Art.
Oh, look, it worked. I'm in the studio today as opposed to my home studio, so I had to relearn the buttons, and it's sometimes that can be a real challenge. Anyway,
just like falling off a bike, Art.
Yeah. Yeah, the last time I fell off a bike, I was 6 years old and my wrist still hurts. So, so let's talk. I guess we should start with the budget. Do we have one? Will we have one?
Oh, we'll have one. The question is going to be, how do we negotiate it? The school aid fund will be robust, and it'll be done on time before July. The question is going to be on the general fund budget. How do we build in federal dollars, or do we not? Are there going to be these tax cuts and credits that we're talking about? Are we going to be paying down debt? This is a conversation that the House and Senate actually have to have first, and so it's kind of an interesting problem with all the dollars that are flowing right now.
It seems to me that there is some room for agreement with the governor on some of the budget issues, but her proposal to send $500 to everybody working is a stickling point. Am I right?
No, not for me. I'm perfectly willing to send everybody $500 right now. But the problem is that she wants to send everybody $500 and then call it quits. The $500 is I'm not sure if I heard this right, but my understanding is by the end of the year, people are the average family is going to be spending $5,000 at the gas pump.
Mm-hmm.
It is double what it was the year before. What the House and Senate plan approved was a reduction in the personal income tax from 4.25 to 4, which I think is pretty reasonable. But to increase the personal income tax deduction from $4,900 to $6,700, $1,800 exemption increase, we do a $500 per child tax credit, increase the earned income tax credit, which is something the governor wanted as well, from 6% to 20%. It would also fund property tax credit for disabled veterans, so that local communities would not be harmed by our tax credits. And so in return for a likely vetoing this, she wanted $500. So she wanted, in a sense, kind of put on a show. So that's I'll support $500, but we have to be a partner. We have to be partners in this.
The one thing I didn't hear you mention was taxes on senior pensions.
Well, that would come with there's also a hike in the senior personal tax exemption. But not many people have a pension in Michigan, and so if we simply exempt pensions, then people with 401ks don't benefit from that, and people that have no pension and no 401k, they have to work to the day they die because they can't afford not to. What do? And so we're trying to help all seniors over 67 years old. And so the personal tax exemption would be up by $1,800, which is roughly what somebody loses in a pension, anyways. On a pension tax on a relatively robust pension.
So, have there been conversations with the governor after her proposal, and what do you think is really going to happen?
There have been any conversations with this governor for almost 3 years. The governor doesn't talk to us. The governor hears rumors and then tries to undermine what we do with $500 $500 direct checks, right? And then tries to take credit for rebates on auto insurance reform, by yourself. This has been the oddest relationship I've ever had between the legislature. I've worked going back to, in the legislature, worked with Governor Granholm and Snyder and Whitmer. I worked with Engler. I was county commissioner under Blanchard. I've never seen anything quite like this.
I was under the impression, and I guess this was a wrong impression, that, after all the mandates went away and everything else, that she began to talk more with the legislature. Was that a misconception on my part?
Yes, the quieter she got, the quieter she got. She was up at the local 85 here, which is the pipe fitters training center on Y Street, talking about economic development. I worked with her on Reconnect and Going Pro, the Skilled Trades Training Fund, and a number of other things. Veronica was in the audience. Joanne was in the audience. She referred to me as the senator from the area. She couldn't even lower herself to say my name out loud. This is what it's come to.
Let me ask this question, because I've talked to folks who've had to deal with her when she was a senator. And, to a person, they all said, oh, well, she was reasonable. You could sit down, you could talk to her, and you could come to terms with her. Did the governor's mansion change her?
Power corrupts. I think it's bigger, and it's, and I'd like to work. She can work with us. She has. We've worked together on, as I mentioned, on the Reconnect. When she puts her mind to it, we can get things done. It's just that I don't know honestly, this is who she surrounds herself with and who she listens to. It was pointed out just the other day, I think at a Saginaw Leadership Government Day, that the governor, I don't think I've seen her on the floor of the Senate one time in her entire period there, not to talk to Democrats, not to talk to Republicans. It is just different.
Yeah, and makes it difficult to get things done.
Sure does. I mean, if we're partners, we're partners. If we're not, we're not. But just let me know, and I'll go do my chores. I'll get done what I can, but it sure is rough on people in the state of Michigan when you have this kind of a tenuous relationship.
All right, Senator, hang on. I'm going to take a quick break. We'll come back. I want to talk about Connect and how we're doing and trying to entice industry into Michigan and maintain industry that we have. All of that ahead with State Senator Ken Horn after these notes.
Wool Files in Saginaw is looking for an experienced parts counter person. You must be prompt, dependable, and knowledgeable in lawn and garden equipment. Qualified candidates can make good wages and receive an excellent benefit package at a clean, well-respected local business. For an opportunity to fill this rewarding position at one of the area's oldest, highly respected repair shops, bring a resume and apply in person to Dave at 5818 State Street, Saginaw, between the hours of 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. This is a full-time position and starts now. Wool Files, Ace Hardware, 5818 State Street, Saginaw. Wool Files is an equal opportunity employer.
New message. What up? It's Heather's cousin. You dated her in college, or maybe you were just in the same class. Anyway, I heard you bought a boat, my man. Let's hit the water. Oh, and Heather told me you always liked snacks and stuff, so I could totally bring some chips.
When you get a boat, you also get new friends. Make sure Progressive's one of them, and get coverage today for as little as $100 a year.
Hey, also, I'm a little short on cash, so can you cover the chips? Thanks. I can see why Heather liked you.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Annual premium for basic liability policy not available in all states.
These days, it's getting harder and harder to find savings. But you may have more cash than you realize in your home's equity. Unlock it today with a cash-out refinance from Rocket Mortgage. In the last year, average home values have gone up nearly 20%. That means you could unlock thousands of dollars from your home. And with Rocket Mortgage, you could get all that cash in as little as 3 weeks. Put your hard-earned money to work. Pay down high-interest debt and combine your balances into one simple, low monthly payment. Now is your perfect opportunity to take control of your financial future. So what are you waiting for? When you want to consolidate debt and simplify your finances, Rocket can. Call 8338-ROCKET today or go to rocketmortgage.com to get started. That's 8338-ROCKET or go to rocketmortgage.com. Rocket. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states and MLSConsumerAccess.org number 3030. Call 800-490-1233 for disclosures and cost information.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
If you owe the IRS back taxes, then get ready to pay up. The IRS has giant private collection agencies actively tracking down folks who owe the IRS. So if you think dodging them was stressful in the past, it's going to get a whole lot tougher. Optima Tax Relief has this advice. Don't wait. Solve your tax problems now before it's too late. Optima Tax Relief works to stop the demand letters, stop the aggressive collection actions, and stop the IRS collectors from targeting you. Ask Optima about the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands, and nobody knows this program better than they do. Optima is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, and they get results, having resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Get a fresh start. Call today for your free consultation.
Call 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robin show, what's the craziest thing someone said over the weekend?
And it's only a 3-hour show. I don't think we got time.
Overtime. Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW. The WSGW Broadcasting Studios are sponsored by the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Showroom and Design Center in Midland.
All right, we're back chatting with State Senator Ken Horn. So, Senator Horn, you are, at least in my view, a master of economic development. It is one of your areas of extreme interest. How are we doing in positioning the state to be attractive to businesses like Ford and others and in the future? Are you there?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay. I'm sorry.
I feel like I'm still on Zoom. I muted myself.
I understand how that goes.
We took a big step at the end of November and December when we created a kind of an economic development fund that did site preparation and some closing dollars for securing deals for the state of Michigan, and we brought on General Motors and LG for electric cars and batteries, and it was a fairly generous deal and one we don't have to do very often, but it was a big deal. But the eyes of the world all of a sudden turned our way, and so we're starting to see some really big ideas, innovations coming to Michigan. I'm really excited about Michigan's future if we continue to be hungry for business. Because I can tell you something: if we didn't secure that General Motors deal and retain those jobs and to grow some new ones by the year 2035, we would not be making combustion engines anymore, and we likely would not be manufacturing cars anymore. That's how close we were, standing on the precipice of changing Michigan's future. And so I think we're on a great path. My goal, stated goal now, because I learned how to talk to my colleagues different. Instead of building tools and then trying to sell economic development tools and then trying to sell them, I'm talking to them about growing Michigan. And my goal to grow Michigan by 1 million people in less than 10 years. And everybody has a different idea of how to do it. And so you really need the jobs of the future. You got to fill those jobs with talented people, and then you have to give them some place that they live, that they want to live. Then we can attract them. But then economic development also means community development, and in downtowns, shopping and restaurants and bars and retail. How do we grow all of these things at the same time? And one person can't do it. It's just kind of right now my job to put all the ducks in a rowboat and get us across the pond, right, for the next several months. And I think we're starting to get some people interested and serious and believing that we can grow again as a state of Michigan.
I would also think there'd be a secondary benefit in job retention. And by that, I mean, we graduate a lot of people from colleges, universities, and trade education. And then we watch them leave.
Yeah, exactly. And if we even if we kept them all 100% of everybody that graduated, both high school and college, we still wouldn't have enough people to fill all the technical jobs that we have now. Right now, there's 600,000 people in Michigan, adults over 23 years old, without a high school diploma. We have a great resource to tap into, but if we don't begin migrating people from other states, when Ford Motor Company took its 11,000 jobs, we talked about this in a previous show, took their 11,000 jobs to Tennessee. Tennessee doesn't have 11,000 skilled people for Ford, but I guarantee you they're not going to spend $12 billion and not fill those positions. They're going to have to rob other states,
including Michigan.
Exactly. So our job is to stop them. My job is to stop them from robbing us. Go rob somebody else. Go rob Texas or somebody. But I'm going to hang on to Michiganders, and then we're going to grow our state. And so we need to migrate talent from all over the world.
Let me ask, because obviously we live today, how long will it take for us to be that competitive, to be able to say, nah, stay here, we've got a better job for you?
We could do that by the end of the year. You can't imagine. I'm under a non-disclosure act I signed, with our economic development teams. But there are tens of millions, billions of dollars investment. We turned the eyes of the world this way, and they want to come here. We just need to make this attractive, and then when they get here, do they want to stay here? And so we have that opportunity. We're sitting on that precipice right now. We just need to grab the ring and then go for it. So it's my job to convince my colleagues to do this. And if we do this right, Michigan could be doing all kinds of things. I spent 2 days in Cocoa Beach with SpaceX and with Blue Origin, and they want to shoot off hypersonic rockets north of the 45th parallel, which is up in Mars, because tens of thousands of satellites still need to go in the air for a robust cloud system to guide our autonomous vehicles, to fill out our 4G, 5G, perhaps 6G technologies in terms of communication, broadband. And so they're looking at us. We just need to follow through now.
I think I told you this, I think, once before, but I had a conversation with Jim Fitterling, the CEO of Dow. And the conversation revolved around the Great Lakes Bay Invitational, the LPGA event that they bring to town. And I asked him, I said, Jim, why are you spending these millions of dollars? And his answer was pretty revealing. He said, look, it puts us on a world stage and it introduces us to people. And what he said was, if I can get them here, I can keep them here. In other words, once he gets them to Midland or to the region and to the company, they'll want to stay.
Well, when those DuPont researchers and scientists came from the East Coast. I know they were coming here to make fun of us, country hicks.
Sure, of course.
Territory, with all of their great stuff. But when they visited the Dow facility, manufacturing and research, and they walked into this big room with a microscope so powerful you can look inside of a molecule, and they all go, "I want that. I want to work here. I can finish my work if I have that kind of equipment." And when you look at Dow, they set another example. I remember I think you might have been part of this conversation. It had to be close to 20 years ago when they were recommitting their headquarters here to the Mid-Michigan area.
Yep.
And they said, how do we attract people to Midland, Michigan? And so they started investing in Saginaw County, in Midland, Bay County, that's when they started. They did the naming rights for the Dow. They spent $3.5 million, $4.5 million up the YWCA. But they said, we need to make an attractive place to live for our employees so that we can attract them. That's kind of my philosophy now at the state level. We need to attract people to want to be here.
Yeah. Can you hang on for one more segment?
Certainly.
All right. Hang on. We'll be back. We are talking to State Senator Ken Horn, and we will take a look at some of the other things facing the state. And we will do that right after these notes. Let me take a moment to tell you about my friends at Thalen Honda on North Euclid Avenue in Bay City, because they have a whole bunch of new vehicles in the pipeline, and they'd love for you to reserve one. So if you're interested in a new Honda, one of the greatest cars being built today, I'd suggest you stop into Thalen Honda to secure one of those new Hondas on order while you still can. And remember this, with the gas prices what they are, oh my goodness, Honda was ranked first among full-line automakers in the 2021 EPA report at 29.1 miles per gallon, 3.7 miles per gallon higher than the industry average for the 2020 model year, and that translates into savings in your pocket. Plus, the 2022 Honda Civic won the prestigious North American Car of the Year award. And in addition, the Honda Ridgeline was ranked first among the longest-lasting trucks. Stop in, visit Thalen Honda on North Euclid Avenue today to see what's in the pipeline. Reserve one for yourself. Or if you're looking to move up into a pre-owned vehicle, Thalen dealerships, all side by side right there on North Euclid Avenue, have hundreds to look for, one of the largest inventories in the Great Lakes Bay region. They're all inspected, and they're ready for immediate delivery. Check them out online at thinkthalen.com. And remember, the Thalen family's been serving your automotive needs for over 45 years.
The Tribute to Summer concert series takes center stage at Saginaw Eagles Landing. Don't miss 1964, a recreation of the Beatles' earliest concerts on June 16th, and Rumors, the ultimate Fleetwood Mac tribute show on June 30th. All shows are outside in the parking lot on the south side of Worth Road and include $10 free play for adults. Saginaw Eagles Landing Casino and Hotel. Real fun, real friendly. Visit saginaw-eagleslanding.com for complete rules and details.
For over 20 years, you have known Sunrise Awnings as the home of the shady deal. Living in Michigan, we are always looking for ways to spend more time outdoors, especially now. Sunrise Awnings provides homeowners that opportunity to expand their living space with Sunsetter or Summer Space Awnings. Enjoy family and friends, protected from the sun, rain, and heat. Call Sunrise Awnings today to take advantage of that outdoor lifestyle you enjoy. Check us out at sunriseawnings.net. Get the most out of your patio and deck with a retractable awning from Sunrise Awnings.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed. Oh, yeah? Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line.
So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. That's 800-401-6681.
For 55 consecutive years, WSGW is your home for Tigers baseball.
Fly ball, left center. This one's deep. This one's got a chance, and this ball is gone. Miguel Cabrera is heating up with the extra base power. Number 3, and the Tigers take a 1-0 lead in the second.
Tigers baseball, brought to you in part by
A-Plus Plumbing in Midland.
Lingle Equipment Company.
Stevens Cycle.
Your home for the Tigers is WSGW.
Back with you here on the Art Lewis Show, talking to State Senator Ken Horn. Ken, it was announced today the DeVos family is endorsing Tudor Dixon to be Michigan's next governor. We don't hear much about her. We hear about the other candidates, certainly Perry Johnson and Rinke and Craig all come to the forefront, but not heard about her. And all of a sudden, the DeVos family has endorsed her and plans to put financial backing behind her. You got a horse in the race for governor?
I came on board about 2 months ago, and she was
I'm sorry, say it again. Who?
Tudor Dixon.
Oh, you came aboard for her?
Yeah, I've been on board for some time now. I looked at some of the candidates and spoken with them, and she is smart. We talked for about an hour on the phone on my ride over to Grand Rapids one day, about economic development, about education, about things. She is deep in terms of policy. So I took a look at it, took a look at the candidates, and then I pictured her up on stage with the current governor, and I can't picture anybody else up there debating. And so she came from the foundry business. Her dad was in the foundry business. She's a tease that she's got a backbone of steel. She's got a couple of young kids. She is articulate, and so I radio host at one point, and so she has all of the right qualifications, and so she's kind of coming out of the blue, because her numbers are really low, because you saw all those ads from the $1 million ads from some of the others.
Johnson and Rinke particularly are spending a ton of money, which begs the question: is she so far behind that she can't catch up?
No, not at this point, because we're still in the primary. And so I think voters are discerning. She does have a plan. I did not know that the DeVosses were going to come on board, but she already had a plan to raise dollars, and she's doing the grassroots work. She was just in Saginaw here. She went up to Midland, last Thursday. I had her at the Franklin Rotary at noon. She went back to Midland to meet with a group of people, then came down to Saginaw again to meet. She spent the whole day in the region, and it's not her first time. This is kind of turning out to be kind of like a second home to her. So she's doing the grassroots work, and she's working very hard. So when she's raising her money, so when the time comes and the ad placements are the most important, she'll be there.
You don't think she's, waiting maybe a little too long with the other folks coming out and really spending? I mean, Johnson's self-funding and he's everywhere.
No, I met him. his ads are kind of interesting, but that the whole guru thing isn't as appealing to me as the nerd thing was. And, and pictures of those aren't gonna take you as far as you think. Good people. I mean, all good people, and they all have different philosophies. But in terms of the economic development, what moves Michigan forward, I've listened to some of their policies, and they kind of hold us back a little bit. So. It's just the big tax cuts, and one of them wants to take us to a 0% income tax.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that. How do we do that? We don't do that. We can't do that, can we?
No, not with the kind of structure we have now. Remember, under Snyder, when Senator Brandenburg was chair of the Tax Policy Committee and had a bill to take us to zero when we couldn't do it. We couldn't get it across the finish line because there's no way financially that you could. You couldn't hire police officers, Michigan State Police. You couldn't do healthcare services. It's just impossible.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be an interesting race to watch. There's no doubt about it. Interesting race to watch.
And in the meantime, Art, we have really cool things happening. When I get off the phone with you, I'm heading to Mrs. Miley's 4th grade class at Arrowwood Elementary School. They want a pizza party.
Good.
I had 56,000 pages. These 30 students read. Can you imagine?
Yeah, it's amazing. Look, Ken, I've got to interrupt because I'm out of time here, but you say hi to all those students, and listen, we will chat again down the road, see how things are going. We appreciate it. Talk to you soon.
Anytime.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye now. Senator Ken Horn, we thank him for joining us here on WSGW. We'll take a break, come back, finish up this hour. Next hour will be open phones.
Want to pay less for gas? Stop at any one of your local 26 Forward Shell convenience stores, where you'll save at least 5 cents a gallon on every fill-up with Shell Fuel Rewards. Earn even more cents off when you make purchases in-store on some of your favorite snacks and drinks. Stack the savings, and you can regularly save 10, 20, 30 cents or more off each gallon of gas. That's Fuel Rewards and your area Forward Shell convenience stores. And remember, when you want to pay less at the pump, go forward.
At the United States Postal Service, we deliver packages fast and affordably, so you can give your customers what they want when they need it. We're delivering for one-stop shops, mom and pops, pop-ups, startups, retail, wholesale, large scale, small biz, big box, customers, customizers. So no matter what business you're in, we'll always be delivering for you. USPS, delivering for America. Learn more at USPS.com/delivering.
You can unlock more cash than you realize from your home's equity with a cash-out refinance today. In the last year, average home values have gone up nearly 20%. And with Rocket Mortgage, you can unlock thousands in less than 3 weeks. But you've got to act right now before rates go up. So when you're looking to unlock the cash in your home, Rocket can. Call 833-8-ROCKET today or go to rocketmortgage.com to get started.
Rates current as of 12/12/21. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender license in all 50 states. And MLSConsumerAccess.org. Number 3030. Call 800-490-1233 for disclosures and cost information.
There's a price war in the insurance business, and you may be paying too much. Call the Term Lifeline right now and see if you can save 40%. $500,000 plans and up. That's our specialty. Even great smokers rates. Protect your family today. Call the Term Lifeline right now for a free quote. 866-549-TERM, 866-549-TERM, 866-549-TERM.
The Ramsey Show, weeknights at 10 on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW.
All right, that'll do it for the first hour of the Art Lewis Show for this Monday morning. Heading into the final full week of May anyway. Coming up next hour, open phones for the entire hour. We'll tell you more about that after the news. But before that, the news from CBS and the local report with Dave Maurer. And then we will be back. Talk to you right after.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Vicki Barker in London. Bears in retreat on Wall Street. The Dow soared 400 points shortly after the open. The S&P went up 44. Will there be more height to this bounce? Analyst Michael Farr.
That's a pretty good sign technically and typically bodes of a short-term, at least a relief rally, if not a complete turnaround. This one feels more like a relief rally.
President Biden touring Asia has suggested the U.S. will fight to defend the island of Taiwan from any attack by mainland China, raising eyebrows on his Tokyo stopover and hackles in Beijing. CBS's Nancy Cordes is traveling with the president.
For years, the U.S. has had a policy of so-called strategic ambiguity when it comes to Taiwan, a self-governed island that China considers its territory. A top Chinese spokesman fired back at Mr. Biden. Taiwan is purely China's internal affair, he said. We won't stand for any foreign interference. The White House sought to soften the president's stance, claiming our policy has not changed and that Mr. Biden simply committed to provide Taiwan with the military means to defend itself.
More monkeypox cases expected on both sides of the Atlantic. British health officials are telling anyone exposed to self-isolate for 21 days. Kiran Joshi of the Cook County Public Health Department in Chicago says what to watch out for.
Flu-like symptoms, so maybe a fever, body aches, perhaps some upper respiratory stuff. And then there's a rash.
So far, all the cases seem to involve the milder West African strain of the virus. Another independent report yields more claims of church abuse and resulting cover-ups, this time involving the Southern Baptist Convention.
The report says the SBC used its system of granting churches autonomy to deflect accountability for local offenders. But allegations of abuse go up to the very top, including a sexual assault claim against former SBC President Johnny Hunt, which he denied in a Facebook post Sunday night.
CBS's Nikki Batiste reporting. The first emergency shipment of specialist baby formula from Europe arrived in the U.S. CBS's Christina Ruffini is at the White House.
The president tweeted that a second shipment of formula is on its way to Pennsylvania in the next couple days and will then be distributed throughout the country. But the White House is facing criticism that it didn't act fast enough.
From Ukraine to the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky addressing delegates remotely, calling for maximum sanctions against Russia, appealing for more weapons. This is CBS News.
Find your next great hire with Indeed. Their hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates all in the same place. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Wool Files in Saginaw is looking for an experienced parts counter person. You must be prompt, dependable, and knowledgeable in lawn and garden equipment. Qualified candidates can make good wages and receive an excellent benefit package at a clean, well-respected local business. For an opportunity to fill this rewarding position at one of the area's oldest, highly respected repair shops, bring a resume and apply in person to Dave at 5818 State Street, Saginaw, between the hours of 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. This is a full-time position and starts now. Wool Files, Ace Hardware, 5818 State Street, Saginaw. Wool Files is an equal opportunity employer.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial. ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
How do you make the most of your land? If you ask the Wrens, who run with us on a John Deere mower, they tell you,
I mow first, then I do all the trimming.
But the Hubbards, who work behind the wheel of a John Deere compact tractor, would say,
if it's something you want, just go after it and try it.
Then there's the Mosers, who may mention from the seat of their John Deere Gator UTV.
You can't be all work and not play.
There are millions of ways to make the most of your land. Learn how to make the most of yours at Deere.com. Nothing runs like a Deere.
From the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
It's 53 degrees at 10:05. Good morning, I'm Dave Maurer. One man is dead and one is hospitalized following a shooting in Saginaw Friday night. Michigan State Police said one person is in custody after the shooting happened about 6:45 p.m. on Fulton Street. Investigators say when officers arrived, they found that a 33-year-old Saginaw man was shot multiple times. He was taken to a local hospital where he later died from his injuries. Police have identified the dead man as Brandon Pearson of Saginaw. A 32-year-old Saginaw man who was not identified was also shot, but sustained non-life-threatening injury and was taken to a local hospital for treatment. Police say no other injuries were reported. Police arrested a 27-year-old Saginaw man in connection with the shooting on Sunday, and he's expected to be arraigned later this week. The National Weather Service in Gaylord is calling the EF3 tornado that struck their town on Friday an extremely rare occurrence and the worst Michigan has seen in over a decade. Monique Runyon, senior forecaster of the National Weather Service in Gaylord, says 2 people were killed and 44 injured as winds topped 140 miles per hour and hit a mobile home park and businesses.
My understanding is research shows that 70-mile-an-hour winds can knock a mobile home off of its foundation or off of its wheels. So it doesn't take much. And when you're talking about 150-mile-an-hour winds, it's really going to wreak havoc.
State police say everyone has been accounted for and power has been restored to all but a few residents. The Junior League of the Great Lakes Bay region has provided the Can Council $20,000 for the group's court-appointed special advocates, a program in honor of the CASA program's 20th anniversary. CASAs are highly trained volunteers who serve as a voice for children in Bay and Saginaw County who are in the system due to abuse and neglect. The first CASA case assigned in Saginaw County was on May 30th, 2002. The league donated $40,000 to Can Council in 2002 to help start the CASA program. Aerial treatment has been scheduled to control spongy moth caterpillars between today and Friday in Bay County. Rick Antonio reports.
Formerly referred to as gypsy moths, the Bay County Suppression Program monitors for and works to suppress the moths and other non-native pests that affect trees and plants countywide. Treatment has been scheduled for areas of Bay County where moth populations have reached outbreak levels, including 19 wooded areas made up of 3,727 acres. Spray operations will begin around 6 a.m. and continue until completed. Townships where treatment will be occurring include Gibson, Mount Forest, Garfield, Pinconning, Caucaulin, and Beaver. A map showing the general location of the areas to be treated has been posted to WSGW.com. Rick Antonio, News Radio 100.5 and 790.
WSGW News Time, 10:08.
Are you ready for retirement? Well, Jason and Carl Kreiderman with Great Lakes Investment Advisors have a new book that can help make retiring easier. In Empower Your Retirement, they talk about how a well-thought-out financial plan can make the difference between just surviving and thriving in retirement. Using everyday language, this book explores how a simple process can help you cover all the bases of your financial life, including how taxes can affect your retirement and much more. Your finances are too important to leave to chance. Empower Your Retirement is written to help you understand the must-dos to prepare for the retirement you desire. Get your free copy of Empower Your Retirement by calling 989-848-1188. That's 989-848-1188. And for more on retirement planning, tune into Jason and Carl's radio show, Your Financial Empower Hour, every Sunday morning at 8. Firm provides insurance services, investment advisory services offered by Great Lakes Investment Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor firm in the state of Michigan. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
WSGW News Time, 10:09. The Saginaw Chippewa Indian Tribe has made donations to several organizations in Aranac County. Following the tribe's annual 2% revenue sharing, it donated more than $1 million with local units of government and area schools, including the county, a number of cities and townships, and public safety departments. Since the tribe began with a donation several years ago, it has provided more than $250 million to local agencies. A recent study shows the quality of diets for adults who are 65 and older declined between 2001 and 2018. So what's causing the trend?
As you get older, your sense of smell goes down, sense of taste is affected, and you don't tend to like food as much as before. Your memory of the way that food tastes is not the same as when you eat. There are medical problems that can affect your sense of taste and smell and affect your appetite.
That's Dr. Ronan Factora from the Cleveland Clinic. He said other reasons may include the type of medication they're taking, or there could be financial issues which are preventing them from buying healthier foods. The U.S. Coast Guard is reminding boaters to steer clear of using E15 gasoline this summer. E15 gasoline has a higher ethanol content, which can damage boat engines and void their warranties. It can also make marine engines run hotter, increasing the risk for boat fires, and is prohibited for marine engine use at the federal level. However, the current federal ban on E15 gas during the summer months has been lifted to help ease prices at the pump, so boaters need to be aware of what type of gas they're putting in their boats. Please make sure you use gasoline containing no more than 10% ethanol or E10. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 7520790. It's 1010. I'm Dave Maurer.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. For today, look for sunny to partly cloudy conditions with high temperatures working up into the lower 60s. Then for tonight, clouds in the increase, a low of 41. For Tuesday, partly sunny skies with mid-60s for high temperatures, and then cloudy, breezy with rain developing on your Wednesday with highs up to 72. For Wednesday night, rain, possibly some thunder showers as well, low 60s. And even into your Thursday, mostly cloudy skies with rain still likely there, a high of 71. I'm meteorologist Michael Carroll with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Right now, it's 54.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions. From around your block to around the world, The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
All right, welcome back. Welcome back to hour number 2 of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW, coming to you from the Real Radio studios of WSGW today and will for the next several days. It's open phones this hour, whatever you'd like to chat about. 989-752-6111. We'll put you in touch with us. We've got a number of things to bring up this morning. First of all, President Biden over in Asia was asked a question by, I think, a CBS reporter. If China were to attack or invade Taiwan, would the United States come to Taiwan's aid with a military response? He had a one-word answer. He looked at her and said, yes. Now, White House spokesmen are all modifying that somewhat, saying, well, of course, we would provide them with the military aid that they would need. Trying to back away from the notion that we would send troops to Taiwan. This is an interesting situation because obviously with Russia attacking the Ukraine as they've had, the question has always been there, does this somehow give China the idea that they can go ahead and attack Taiwan? They're building islands in the ocean out there. They're doing all kinds of things to try and assert themselves in the region. And there's always been that question of whether or not the United States would militarily come to the aid of Taiwan, who we've supported for many, 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 many years. And, it's almost a double-edged sword in some ways. On the one hand, the United States makes commitments to its allies to protect them, help them, NATO nations included, and have made those commitments to Taiwan. So if you don't provide for military response, if Taiwan is attacked or invaded by China, can you ever be taken at your word again? And of course, we have commitments with NATO. I mean, the reality is, if Russia were to invade a NATO nation, remember now, Ukraine was not a NATO nation. Russia claims that because of Ukraine's desire to join NATO, they were a threat to Russia, and that's how he's justified his attack. Now he's going to have to worry about Finland. Is he going to attack Finland too? It has a longer border with Russia than Ukraine. I think actually what's happened in Putin's case, it's all backfired on him. He's gotten exactly the opposite results from what he expected. It's going to be interesting to see how long he lasts as the head of Russia. I think there's going to be a turning of the tide within the population that he's not going to be able to control, but time will tell. All right, we've got callers stacked up here, so we'll start with Paul in Saginaw. Paul, good morning.
Good morning, Art. I kind of agree with your opinions there a little bit.
All right.
But I want to change the subject. The subject is 3 projects for the Supreme Court. And project number 1, which is in the news, is reversing Roe v. Wade. And project number 2 and project number 3 will be a little discussion here. Project number 2, I would like the current Supreme Court to bring back stop and frisk. And here's why. It accomplishes 3 things. Number 1, it'll get guns off the street, illegal guns off the street. 2, it'll get illegal drugs off the street. And number 3, and most important of all, anybody who has a warrant for their arrest, they can check their ID during stop and frisk, see if there's a warrant for their arrest, and take them off the street.
Okay, so who's going to bring the case to the court? You understand the court doesn't originate cases.
Correct. I understand it. That job is up to the same people that are bringing a court case like Roe v. Wade to the court. So that's for the lawyers to
well, you have to have somebody has to have a law that gets challenged.
Right.
So
right.
If nobody has a stop and frisk law, it won't come to the court. But if for example, New York City, where it was most famously used, if New York City created a law that allowed for stop and frisk, then someone in New York could challenge that and take it to the Supreme Court. Otherwise, the court's never going to see it.
Exactly. I agree with 100%. All right, on to project number 3. You might like this one.
Can't wait.
Keep the HIPAA laws the same for low-functioning like people who are in wheelchairs or they're DDA, disabled developmentally, but change the HIPAA laws for high-functioning consumers. These are people who have like addictions or they're bipolar, paranoid, schizophrenic. These are the ones who can walk and talk and go out and buy guns and that type of thing. What do you think about that?
I think the law has to cover everybody. If you start breaking it up by classes, I think you're making a mistake. Either HIPAA does it or it doesn't do it. I think if we're going to change the HIPAA laws, you don't do it by who's in a wheelchair, who's not. I think you do it for a particular issue. For example, if you were to apply for a permit to buy a pistol and you fill out the form, and even though there's a place on that form for you to check off where you've had or not had mental problems, if you check no, they have no way of checking unless it came through the legal system. So in relation to background checks for firearms, if you talk to most firearms dealers, they will tell you that is the weakness in the background check system. And it's across the country because it's uniform.
Well, you know as well as I do, somebody in a wheelchair or somebody who is developmentally disabled are not going to come into a gun shop and asked to purchase a gun.
I disagree with you 100. I
functioning.
disagree with you 100%. If you don't think there are folks who are in wheelchairs that are expert marksmen and wonderful shooters, you're badly mistaken.
Yeah, but these people don't have mental health issues.
So we're talking about mental health issues, period. That's the issue. Not who's in the wheelchair, not who's developmentally disabled. We're talking about, do you have a mental health issue that would disqualify you from purchasing a handgun, for example?
That's the issue right there.
That is the issue. But you can't do it by class.
Right.
You got to do it across the board if you do it.
I don't know. I worked in mental health for 13 years, and people who are low functioning, they're not capable of going into a gun shop.
Then you don't have to worry about them, do you?
Not real. No.
So you don't. But there are people in wheelchairs who are high functioning, aren't there?
Of course.
Well, then fine.
They don't usually have mental health issues.
Well, you do it across the board because the people you're talking about in the low functioning aren't going to be part of it anyway. It doesn't matter. But you have to have a uniform law. All right. Got to run.
All right. Okay.
All right. Take care, Paul. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye
All right,
now.
bye-bye.
Quick break, and then we'll get back to, let's see, we got Jim in Freeland and Russ in Bay City waiting for us right after these notes.
It is the fundamental right of parents to direct the education of their children, unquote. That's the state law. And Representative Annette Glenn sponsored a bill to require posting that right in school offices and board meetings, fighting for parents. Paid for by Annette Glenn for State Senate.
Individual results may vary. There's no guarantee that past performance will be indicative of future results. Invest wisely. Paid for by Chaikin Analytics. The man who predicted the 2020 crash warns of a huge event in 2022. His name is Mark Chaikin, and his newest prediction has gone viral with 1.5 million views. According to Chaikin, who spent 50 years on Wall Street, a historic event in 2022 will cause a massive shift in the wealth divide. This will affect anyone who owns stock, says Chaikin, who accurately predicted the 2020 crash. Most people will never see it coming. Chaikin, a popular guest on Jim Cramer's Mad Money, has never shied away from sharing his controversial predictions. Now, Chaikin is pointing to a huge change in the way thousands of companies will need to do business in 2022. It'll affect everyone from Apple to Amazon, he says. Watch his full brand new warning free of charge at stockmarketshift.com/radio. Go to stockmarketshift.com/radio to learn more about 2022's huge event predicted by Mark Chaikin. That's stockmarketshift.com/radio.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. That's 800-401-6681.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks opened higher, the Dow gaining almost 300 points at the opening bell after weeks of decline. Investors are looking for a market bottom as the Fed raises interest rates to combat inflation. It's a good time to graduate college. According to the New York Post, the National Association of Colleges and Employers finds that the class of 22 will see 33% more jobs available than did last year's class. Elon Musk suggested over the weekend that the price of his $44 billion offer to purchase Twitter should be cut proportionally by the number of Twitter bots. A social media influencer tweeted that 25% of the users are bots, and the Twitter acquisition deal should cost 25% less, to which Musk tweeted, absolutely. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Roger Stern, invested in you.
America could soon enter stagflation territory with slow economic growth, high unemployment, and high inflation. That is why I recommend gold IRAs from Birch Gold Group. Hi, Stephen K. Bannon here, and I want to remind you to get Birch Gold's free info kit on sheltering your savings with Gold IRA. To get your free copy, text the word SHELTER to 989898. With stagflation looming, it's critical that you act today. Text SHELTER to 989898 right now.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
There are so many words to describe Panera's new Chef's Chicken sandwiches. The chicken, juicy, succulent, seared. The brioche roll, buttery and toasty. The Parmesan crisps, crunchy, tangy. The secret aioli, creamy and rich. All those words. But when you have a bite, you might just be left speechless. Panera's new Chef's Chicken sandwiches. Enjoy $1 delivery fee when you order on our app. Restrictions apply. For details, visit panerabread.com/delivery info.
This is a test. WSGW is conducting a test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test. This is a test of the emergency alert system on WSGW. Equipment that can quickly warn you during emergencies is being tested. WSGW serves Saginaw, Bay, and Midland counties, along with the surrounding area. This concludes this test of the emergency alert system on WSGW.
Fly ball center field deep, and that ball is gone. A home run. Wow, just kept going. Javi Baez with a line drive to center field.
The Tigers play 7:20 tonight on 790 News Radio WSGW.
Hi, we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. And back to our phones. Jim is in Freeland. Jim, thanks for waiting. Good morning.
Well, good morning, Art. I'd like to report something I haven't seen in 25 years or more.
Oh, what's that?
2 ringneck pheasants in my front yard.
No kidding. In Freeland?
Yes. Well, it's kind of west of Apple Mountain off of Thomas Road.
Okay. Wow.
And there were two roosters. One was a bit bigger, I would say a dominant male, and the other one was a little smaller, not much. And the big rooster would kind of track the young one around. It'd go around my pine trees and out the road, then back into the pine trees, and then he went over in my neighbor's yard. And they were just walking around, and the big one was following the little one. I think there was some hens in the issue that the older one wanted him to disappear.
I'll have to mention that to Mike Avery when I see him Wednesday to see if there's a resurgence, if you will.
I was listening to his program this weekend, and when he mentioned something about the roosters that years ago, and a long time ago, they would cackle when they flew up.
Yep.
I would hear them over on the Benz property, many years ago, cackling over there. But I thought that was worth a phone call, but that was something else to see those 2 roosters. Beautiful.
Great. Wonderful. That's good news.
Yes. Considering what we all have in the news today, right?
Yeah. All right. Good enough. And I will mention it to Mike. I'll be curious to see what he says.
Yes. Thank you, Art. Have a great day.
Yep. You too, Jim. Thanks. Bye-bye now.
Thanks. Bye.
And we'll move on to Russ in Bay City. Russ, good morning.
Good morning, Art. Well, unfortunately, we had another banner day last week with Governor Whitmer, our criminal court judges, and the Michigan's press. I saw this article reported in the Daily Wire, which by many is considered an extreme right-wing news site. And what it reported was that Jaden Hayden, his charges were dropped. Now, this was the violent monster that Governor Whitmer had put in a nursing home to recover from his COVID. While there, he beat to death 75-year-old Norman Blasdo.
Alleged.
We got it on video. It wasn't alleged. He beat him. It's on video. He posted it on his own social media, being proud of it. No, this isn't alleged. He did it. And
So the charges were dropped, you said?
The charges were dropped.
Because?
He was deemed incompetent to stand trial.
Okay. So he doesn't get out.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to be confined.
Now, what, for what, maybe 2, maybe 3 months tops?
No.
And then they'll declare him well and release him. That's what they do. They don't lock him up forever.
Oh, I'll disagree with you. I'll just leave it there.
They don't.
They do, and he may become competent to stand trial.
Okay. We'll see. I would love to see that reported, but I don't think I'm going to.
Well, we'll find out.
Yep.
All right.
But all right.
Good enough.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye. Saginaw Bay City, 752-6111 is the number to call. Whatever's on your mind today, here on WSGW. First of all, thoughts and prayers to the folks up in Gaylord. An EF3 hurricane, a very, very rare occurrence. And it's, and I think we were seeing the same type of response that we saw with the dam failures, the community pulling together, outside resources pouring in. There were 2 killed, 44 injured, I think, something like that. Consumers has almost all the power restored already. And of course, their FEMA will be up there to determine the amount of damage and help out where they can. And hopefully that town gets back to normal. I just tried to, a few minutes ago, I tried to call a friend of mine up there, but I didn't get an answer because I was going to try and get him on to find out what life is like right now in Gaylord. So we'll certainly keep them in our thoughts and prayers as they recover. Appears a trailer park was hit by the hurricane, and I heard one of the news stories this morning contained information that it only takes about 70-mile-an-hour winds to lift one off its foundation or move it on its wheels. And they were facing 140, 150-mile-an-hour winds. So it's no wonder those trailers got tossed around like paper. Just amazing. And certainly not something we wish on anyone. If you're calling in, let it ring. We'll get to you quickly as we can here. In the meantime, we'll take a pause, and then we will be back with more calls.
Why do I love to work at Alpha Media Saginaw?
Awesome station, fun work environment.
My work family, endless opportunities, because it doesn't feel like work.
Hi, I'm Carrie Gustafson, General Sales Manager at Alpha Media Saginaw.
We are expanding our marketing department and looking for the right team player to continue to help local businesses grow through on-air and digital campaigns. We have an amazing staff and 5 awesome local radio stations. So if you want to get up every day loving what you do,
apply now at alphamediausa.com/careers. Alpha Media is an EEO employer.
If the Oral-B IO electric toothbrush had a theme song, this would be it.
I think you're gonna wanna see this.
Only IO combines Oral-B's dentist-inspired round brush head with gentle micro vibrations for a brushing experience even dentists have hailed as literally the best brush I've ever used. Get the wow of a professional clean feel every day with the IO from Oral-B, the #1 brand used by dentists.
You're gonna see what everybody's talking about.
Oral-B, brush like a pro.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel. Me llamo Sean.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're speaking another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
3 weeks. It's incredible. After 3 weeks, I'm on vacation in Paris, having a conversation in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn.
Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
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 Babbel, évidemment.
Go to babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
If you owe the IRS back taxes, then get ready to pay up. The IRS has giant private collection agencies actively tracking down folks who owe the IRS. So if you think dodging them was stressful in the past, it's going to get a whole lot tougher. Optima Tax Relief has this advice. Don't wait. Solve your tax problems now before it's too late. Optima Tax Relief works to stop the demand letters, stop the aggressive collection actions, and stop the IRS collectors from targeting you. Ask Optima about the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands, and nobody knows this program better than they do. Optima is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, and they get results, having resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Get a fresh start. Call today for your free consultation.
Call 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
You have the chance to win a $1,000 gift certificate to the business of your choice when you play the WSGW Spring Home Makeover Contest, presented by Rose Pest Solutions. To enter, visit WSGW.com. Scroll down the homepage and click on the contest box. That's when you choose the business you would use your $1,000 gift certificate if you are the winner. Businesses include Rose Pest Solutions, Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery, Roof Max, Abley Greenhouse and Garden Center, Delta Door Sales, Crane's L&M Appliance, Begic Nursery and Garden Center, J&B Boots, United Financial Credit Union, Maple Hill Nursery, Hartel Heating and Cooling, Westside Decorating Center, Cluck Nursery, Designer's Touch, M&R Garage Door, Bay Landscaping, Reamer Plumbing, Heating and Air Conditioning, Woolfiles Ace Hardware, the Spring Home Makeover Contest, presented by Rose Pest Solutions. Enter online, WSGW.com.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robbins show,
what's the craziest thing someone said over the weekend?
And it's only a 3-hour show. I don't think we got time.
Overtime. Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW. Thank you for being with 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW. In the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Showroom and Design Center Studios.
All right, we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show on this Monday, and John is in Saginaw. John, good morning to you. John, are you there? Oh, there you are. Go ahead, John. I got you now. Go ahead.
Good morning, Arthur.
Good morning.
I think a review of the news of the day, a thinking person would notice the fact that the military protection balance that we had after the Second World War, other countries who have felt that they could rely on the United States for military protection directly, no longer are under that impression. I think today it's an illusion to a certain extent, and the biggest problem, which of course is the Chinese now have the world's largest navy, and of course their military has been the largest on land. The only answer to that portion of the military balance of the world is the Japanese have withheld themselves as a self-defense force, and really we're not in a position to fight a two-front war unless it goes nuclear, in which case nobody wins.
Mm-hmm.
So
I would like to
suggest. We have a situation where the Japanese, they have a very good prime minister now, and I think they're going to have to change their status and their stance from being a self-defense force to being fully equipped for first strike war.
Let me put forth a notion here and get your feelings on it. I understand what you're saying, and to a certain degree, I do agree that there is concern around the world that the U.S. would not be there if they were needed. But I go back to the late 30s and early 40s, and the U.S. was very reluctant to get into the European theater, but eventually did. And then, of course, the Pacific theater we were forced into. We didn't have any choice there. I have to wonder if we're just talking about situational events. And by that, I mean, if, for example, Russia were to continue its foray into other lands because, let's say, Finland gets into NATO, Russia doesn't like it, so now they're going to invade Finland and what have you. I have to wonder if the United States would stay silent, because at some point in time, the U.S. hand would be forced. And at the same time, if there were action in Taiwan or in the Asian front, would we now find ourselves in exactly what we found ourselves in World War II?
Arthur, I don't think the United States has the will, nor the manpower, nor the manufacturing capacity to fight a two-front war conventionally.
Didn't have it going into World War II either, but they found it when they had to.
But we had Mr. Marshall, who did a lot of preparation for FDR before we went into the Second World War.
Yeah, but listen, it's a different age, obviously.
Yeah, the war would be fought much differently, and technologically. I'm not quite as well. I'd be, I hate to use the word. I was going to say I'm not quite as pessimistic as you are about the U.S. response. But I hope we never have to find out. Well, I just completed a review of the basic military equipment for both sides, and
that you know about.
Well, I have pretty good information, and I would say the United States always has an extra card in its back pocket or two, and,
or three, yeah.
Yeah, and but like I say, war would be far more destructive this time than and much more. War will be fought faster,
and not conventionally.
That's right. And the United States, I think, in a year from now, you might agree with me. We're not taking care of business the way we should, and we are getting ourselves into a position where other countries can look at us and be worried about any assistance that we would offer. Biden is spending tax money he doesn't have. And this is a situation where eventually we get into a position where we can't offer the assistance that we used to offer. And the balance, if you look at the new prime minister for Australia, and you look at the new setup in the Philippines in the last couple of weeks, it's a situation where I think it's tailor-made for the communists. And I don't agree with you so far as Finland and Sweden are concerned. I think the historical record shows that the other Scandinavian countries, once they militarize against the Soviet Union or Russia, are very strong. And I don't think they'll go that direction.
It's not just because of Finland or Sweden.
Well, historically, it's because how strong they've been against the Russians.
It's because of NATO. And if they join NATO,
they are going to. Yes.
I know they will. And once they are in NATO, the U.S. has a commitment.
And we have complained about the Europeans not spending the money for their defense, and that we've been doing the work and so on. The Germans and the rest of the French and the rest of the active NATO countries have been spending their money on developing the next generation of equipment.
Yeah, but you can thank Trump for part of that.
Well,
he really pushed it.
But now they're going to turn around. I see the Germans have said they're going to up their military budget by $100 billion per year.
Yeah.
And what will happen
They feel threatened.
The products that they have developed over these past few years, now they can put into production so that they have capacity.
And one other little thing real quick here, but, when it comes to the U.S., for example, all we hear about from Russia are their developments of hypersonic missiles.
We have those.
We have those. Of course we do.
That's right.
Of course we do. We just don't publicize it like they do. They've been launched from B-52s and for testing. We have them. We're not far behind. We're not behind.
Well, their spies are better than ours are.
There I may agree with you. All right, John.
All right. Good.
Take care. Thanks a lot.
Too. Thank you.
Bye-bye now. All right. Well, that's an interesting question, though. How confident are you in the ability of the United States to not only protect ourselves, which we're not doing a good job at the border, but, protecting ourselves, and at the same time, maintaining our commitments to NATO and other countries of the world? I don't know. A break and then more calls on the Art Lewis Show.
This is what camping sounds like when you have sleep apnea and struggle with CPAP. And this is what camping sounds like when you have Inspire and don't need a CPAP. If you have sleep apnea and struggle with CPAP, Inspire could work for you. Inspire works inside the body and keeps you breathing normally and sleeping peacefully. No mask, no hose, just sleep. To learn more, visit inspiresleep.com.
Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
I miss my baby, someone stole my baby. By the way, my baby is my landscaping truck that was literally stolen from a job site. Baby, won't you please come home?
Owning a small business isn't always as lovely as it sounds, but with 30-plus customizable coverage options, Progressive Commercial keeps your business humming along. Get a quote in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
I love my sweetheart. By the way, that's my riding lawnmower.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Coverage and discounts not available for all vehicles or states. Policy terms and conditions apply.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. That's 800-401-6681.
Hustle up. We've got 8 more floors to go before lunch.
Sarusha's window washing business is reaching new heights.
Wipe, and let's roll.
They need more certified cleaners to keep online reviews crystal clear.
Team, I know we're hustling, but watch for streaks. Candace, can you give me a hand over here?
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for the Knoll View Golf Course. You are going to get 18 holes of golf for 2 and a cart for only $33. It's usually $66, but you are getting it half off. The Knoll View Golf Course is family owned, built, and operated. Fridays and Saturdays during music night, they offer steak, shrimp, chicken, and salmon on the grill. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal. RocketGrabPlus.com.
Hi, this is Mike Avery. You know you can hear my outdoor magazine show Sunday mornings, 9 till noon on WSGW. But now there's another option. Saturday morning, 6 till 9. Tune in for the latest outdoor news and information, hunting and fishing tips, wildlife and conservation issues, even some wild game cooking. That's Outdoor Magazine now on Saturday mornings too, 6 till 9. Right here on WSGW 790 AM and 100.5 FM.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW. And Jeff in Hemlock, are you there, Jeff?
Yeah, Art, one thing real quick.
people should try to avoid Swan Creek Road near the bike trail area there. It's down to one lane, and there was a long wait trying to get through there. But that was just
what's going on?
Aside before the reason that they're repaving, they're resurfacing the road.
Okay,
it's
construction
done from 52 east right to, but they're working there right along where the bike trail is. So
sure.
It was a long delay.
All right.
But I had like a small world experience. My wife and I were traveling England, Scotland, Wales with Ollie from SBSU. I don't know if you're familiar with that group or not, but we were in a small town called Kirkby, going between Wales up to Scotland. And I went in just off to the side to a little store that the locals would shop in, a little hardware store. And of course, they have music piped in there. And I heard or visit our location in Freeland. It was for a car dealership there in Freeland, and and also in Saginaw. And I did like a double take, and I went up to the guy at the counter, and of course they're streaming, and it was 104.5, the rock station. And here I am in northern England, near Scotland, and I
just like home.
The odds of walking into a store and hearing your hometown mentioned on the radio. So.
You never know. In this day and age, it is extremely possible. I can remember early on in our streaming ventures, I had an email from somebody in Japan, an American from this area, but they listened on the stream, and you just never know.
Yeah,
you never know in this day and age. Yeah. It's very true. It's different. It's a different world we live in.
Sure. What was interesting over there, we're listening to the local TV stations, that they seem to have all the same issues there as we have here. They had people on that were complaining about having to decide between paying for prescriptions or paying for their heat, even though they have nationalized health care there. Apparently there's some cracks in that system. And then they call it cost of living instead of inflation.
Yeah.
It's really hitting hard over there. And,
yeah.
But anyway, it's all the same. It seems like it's the same issues no matter where you go.
Well,
and, we had a good time over there.
John, you bring up a good point, because everyone thinks there are other utopias other than the place you live in. And what you discover when you move and when you travel is that other people have issues just like you have. They may call them something else, but when you boil it down, it's the same thing. And it's the nature of the beast.
Sure. The odd thing that we learned over there, you see, I've never seen so many sheep in all my life going through the countryside there. But the farmer we stopped and talked to said they shear the sheep and burn the wool because it's more expensive with Brexit or whatever, Brexit, the cost controls, it's more expensive for them to process the wool than it is they can get the price fixed at.
So much for free enterprise, huh?
The government, was fixing the price and didn't make it worth the time. So, anyway, I just thought I'd mention that too. It was interesting.
Great.
And
good luck. I have a friend right now that's in the Netherlands this week. He said, I can't wait for him to get back and see what it was like over there.
We flew out of Amsterdam. The airport there is a nightmare, but
I've been there. No, I know that.
All right. Thanks, Art. Talk to you later.
All righty. Take care. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for calling. Yeah. It's one of the things travel does is it expands your horizons, and you begin to realize that, there are differences between countries and how people live. But then you begin to also realize that they face issues just like you do every day. And this inflation that we're seeing now and supply chain shortages that we're seeing now are not unique to this country. They are happening in many other countries. And it's one of the things, it's why I encourage people to travel. Travel is an enormous educational opportunity for all of us who may have lived in our own cocoons all our lives and not thought much about how others live and what they do. But when you travel, you get a sense of the rest of the world. You get a sense of others and how they live, the issues they face, how they deal with them. And sometimes you come back realizing your system's not so bad. Now think of that, what Jeff just told us about the sheep herders who shear their sheep and burn the wool rather than sell it because they can't get enough money for it on the marketplace because the government has imposed price fixing. Think of that. Are we glad we don't have that in this country? And there's been attempts. Who knows? I mean, history has shown us occasionally there has been a need. I know that I think it was Truman during World War II or right after World War II, there was some steel issues, if I remember right. My mind is a little fuzzy on it right now, but we've had occasions historically to invoke price fixing, but not for long periods of time and always in the national interest. It's not a good thing. Government should not have their hand, in my view anyway, government should not have their hand in price fixing and pricing of anything. If government wants to watchdog industry to make sure they're not gouging, okay, I can buy that. But I don't want government dictating the price of anything. I want the marketplace to do that. Sometimes for my advantage, other times not so much. But that's the system we have, and it's a good one. We'll take our last break, come back and close out.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. That's 800-401-6681.
All right, that'll do it for this hour of the Art Lewis Show. Matter of fact, that'll do it for the show. Coming up on Focus, we're going to learn about the Girl Scouts and a big cookie fundraiser they have coming up. That will be along right after the news. The news, of course, coming up from CBS. That will be the national and international report. Ann Williams is in the WSGW newsroom, and she'll bring you up to date on the Great Lakes Bay region and the state of Michigan. And then we'll be back with Focus All Ahead right after the news.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Steve Kathan. Starbucks exits Russia. In a memo to employees today, the company says it will close its 130 stores in Russia and no longer have a brand presence there. It's the latest big business response to the invasion of Ukraine. And the move came just after President Zelensky told world economic leaders he wants maximum sanctions on Moscow as the invasion heads into its fourth month. CBS's Imtiaz Tayeb has more on Russian efforts to grab control of eastern Ukraine.
As we make our way through a maze of trenches, we meet up with Ukrainian soldier Artem, who's been here since March. We're getting used to it, he says. Our guys are tough and seasoned in battle, and we're holding our ground. As we're shown a bunker where Ukrainian soldiers take cover, more shelling. This time, outgoing.
With so much shelling, I mean, are you worried that Russian forces could take this village from you?
That's why we're here, he says, to prevent that from happening.
Well, CBS's Nancy Cordes posed the key question to President Biden in Tokyo. Would the U.S. get involved militarily if China invades Taiwan? He said yes.
There's no question that this was a major departure from longtime U.S. policy. And it means that if China were to make good on its threats to take over Taiwan, the U.S. could get pulled into a military conflict with the world's second largest superpower.
A blistering report commissioned by the Southern Baptist Convention describes decades of cover-ups of abuse within its clergy members and leadership. Hannah Kate Williams filed a suit alleging abuse by her father, an SBC pastor.
I was called a liar. I was called mentally deranged, incompetent, an enemy of God.
Well, CBS's Nikki Batiste has more.
According to the report, they kept a secret running list of accused Baptist ministers to avoid being sued, even as the committee publicly claimed it didn't have the authority to create such a list. The report quotes a May 9th, 2019 internal email where the SBC's then general counsel called the focus on sexual abuse, quote, a satanic scheme to completely distract us from evangelism.
Well, Pfizer says its COVID-19 vaccine is safe and effective for children 6 months to under 5 years when given in 3 doses. Regulators will now consider that information. CBS's Dr. David Agus.
The hope is by mid-June, we can have these available to vaccinate really the last group of people not eligible for a COVID-19 vaccine in the United States, young children.
The Dow is up 518. This is CBS News.
It's a day to honor,
to remember,
to reflect.
This Memorial Day, honor our fallen soldiers with taps across America.
For more information, go to cbs.com/taps.
Imagine this, a day filled with indulgence, bursting with excitement, and packed with extraordinary moments that build memories to last a lifetime. A day that is unmistakably yours, at the place that is undeniably spectacular. Whether you're winning big, dining lavishly, or relaxing oh so comfortably, it's your getaway reimagined at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort.
This is what camping sounds like when you have sleep apnea and struggle with CPAP. And this is what camping sounds like when you have Inspire and don't need a CPAP. If you have sleep apnea and struggle with CPAP, Inspire could work for you. Inspire works inside the body and keeps you breathing normally and sleeping peacefully. No mask, no hose, just sleep. To learn more, visit inspiresleep.com.
Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
If you owe the IRS back taxes, then get ready to pay up. The IRS has giant private collection agencies actively tracking down folks who owe the IRS. So if you think dodging them was stressful in the past, it's going to get a whole lot tougher. Optima Tax Relief has this advice. Don't wait. Solve your tax problems now before it's too late. Optima Tax Relief works to stop the demand letters, stop the aggressive collection actions, and stop the IRS collectors from targeting you. Ask Optima about the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks the IRS IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands, and nobody knows this program better than they do. Optima is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, and they get results, having resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Get a fresh start. Call today for your free consultation.
Call 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
It's 54 degrees at 11:05. Good morning. I'm Ann Williams. A 79-year-old woman is dead after a fire in her apartment in Saginaw Township last night. Firefighters responded about 10:30 to the apartment building at 4955 Century Drive to find heavy smoke coming from the second floor unit. They were able to put the fire out quickly and then found the woman dead in her bedroom. An autopsy will be done to determine the cause of death, but the Saginaw Township Fire Department says it appears the woman may have fallen asleep while smoking. The fire was contained to the one apartment in the 12-unit building. Saginaw Township Police and MMR were also on the scene. A 27-year-old man is in police custody after a shooting in Saginaw Friday night left another man dead. Police say it happened about 6:45 on Fulton Street. The suspect allegedly shot a 33-year-old man who died from his injuries at a local hospital. A 32-year-old man was also shot, suffering non-life-threatening injuries. Police have identified the man killed as Brandon Patterson of Saginaw. They made the arrest on Sunday. The suspect's name has not been released pending arraignment. If you have any information, call Saginaw Police or Crime Stoppers. Cleanup is ongoing in Gaylord after a devastating tornado Friday. State Representative Ken Borton of Gaylord says FEMA will be in town Tuesday to assess the damage, but he's trying to get state help as well.
I've been talking with the governor's office about that. I've been talking to the appropriations chair on the Senate side to see just exactly what can be done. So I will be doing whatever I can, obviously, to help secure some funding for northern Michigan here.
2 people were killed and 44 injured as a mobile home park was heavily damaged along with 2 other homes and businesses. Borton believes the damage is in the millions of dollars. WSGW News Time is 11:07.
It could be the best years of your life. In retirement, you'll finally get to do what you want to do, but you have to plan for it. Start by tuning into Mindy and Nolan McIntosh of McIntosh & Associates every Sunday at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Make retirement the best time of your life. Tune in Sundays at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
It's time to think about your pig. You know, the propane tank in your backyard that heats your home? Well, there's no better company to fill your pig than Forward Energy, covering 23 counties. Forward Energy is a family-owned and operated propane supplier that's been fueling area homes, farms, and businesses since 1925. Fill your pig this year. Visit forwardenergy.com to find out about new customer pricing and programs.
Go forward with Forward Energy.
WSGW News Time is 11:08. Another lawsuit is coming in the Oxford High School mass shooting. Attorney Ben Johnson says they're adding 2 families to the suit, including the family of Justin Schilling, a senior who was killed in the attack last fall. Johnson also wants police reports and video of what happened inside the school that day. When asked if releasing the video could have a negative impact on the case, Johnson said this.
That's what they're arguing, and the answer is absolutely not. Nothing is going to jeopardize this criminal case, in my opinion.
An attorney for Oxford Schools says he will disclose relevant material, although he says releasing the video at this time would be jeopardizing. He also wants parts of the lawsuit thrown out. A request from Governor Whitmer to erase a state abortion ban from decades ago has Michigan Supreme Court asking questions. We get more in this report from Jim Matthews. We'll bring you that story in a later newscast. Nearly all the power lost following a deadly tornado that killed 2 people and flattened parts of a northern Michigan community has been restored. State police said Sunday everyone has been accounted for in Gaylord, where the Friday afternoon's EF3 tornado also injured more than 40. Authorities said Saturday they were unable to account for one person. The tornado packed winds of 140 miles per hour that tore roofs and walls from businesses and practically destroyed a mobile home park in the town. State police said electricity again has been restored to 99% of utility customers in Gaylord. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom 752-0790. It's 11:10. I'm Ann Williams.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. For today, look for sunny to partly cloudy conditions with high temperatures working up into the lower 60s. Then for tonight, clouds in the increase, a low of 41. For Tuesday, partly sunny skies with mid-60s for high temperatures, and then cloudy, breezy with rain developing on your Wednesday with highs up to 72. For Wednesday night, rain, possibly some thunder showers as well, low 60s, and even into your Thursday, mostly cloudy skies with rain still likely there, a high of 71. I'm meteorologist Michael Carroll with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Currently 53 degrees.
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
Well, good morning. Welcome to another edition of Focus on WSGW. I'm Art Lewis. Focus brought to you by RoofMax. You can find out more online about this safe, affordable alternative to shingle roof replacement by going to getroofmax.com. RoofMax with 2 X's. Today, we're going to learn about the Girl Scouts and the big cookie fundraiser coming up. And with us to talk about it this morning, we say good morning to Jordan Brown. Jordan, good morning.
Morning. How are you?
Well, we're doing well. Thanks. So when I think of Girl Scouts, I automatically think of cookies. Automatically.
Oh, yeah.
And I automatically think of Thin Mints. Got to tell you that. And I still have some at home. I keep finding them occasionally. There are still girls occasionally selling them. And when I see them, I buy them. The cookies have really become an identity for the Girl Scouts, haven't they?
That's true. Yeah. Just like you said, when most people think of Girl Scouts, they automatically think of Girl Scout cookies right along with it.
So riding on the back of that, occasionally you do some other fundraisers revolving around cookies, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah. You know, we try, like you just said, everyone thinks of Girl Scout cookies. So we try to use that for good and to help other people in our community.
So what are we doing with it? Do we have a fundraiser coming up?
Yeah, so we're actually currently doing one. It's called Hometown Heroes. So people can donate money to the Girl Scouts, and we'll use that to send cookie boxes to local hometown heroes in this area, which is really cool. So the girls get to learn how to, you know, maybe some local heroes that they didn't know about, they didn't know they knew, and can just give people an extra smile this season.
How does the public participate?
So if you see a girl selling or you know a Girl Scout, you can donate directly to her. Otherwise, you can go to our website at gshom.org and click on cookies, and there's a donate button right there.
Now, are there cookies involved in this, or is it just the theme?
No, there are cookies involved. So we're actually sending cookies directly to the hometown heroes.
So in other words, if I were to, I don't know, what's a box of cookies cost, $4 or $5 anymore? For every $5 I donate, somebody gets a box of cookies?
Yes, exactly.
And when is this going on? How long?
So it goes on actually as long as we sell Girl Scout cookies, but we do have a goal for the end of May to raise 35,000 cookie boxes. And we're almost there. We need about, I think, 500 more to get there.
So where does somebody go to donate? What's the website again?
gshom.org.
GSHOM.
Correct.
.org. And you just fill it out and it's on its way then, huh?
Yep, very simple.
So this has always baffled me a little bit. And I think COVID has probably upset the apple cart a little bit. Here at the radio station, for example, before COVID, I could count on the fact that at least once a year there would be an order form sitting in our lunchroom. Someone on staff had a daughter selling Girl Scout cookies, and I could buy Girl Scout cookies to my heart's content. And then COVID came along, and we weren't working in the building, and half the staff isn't here, and that kind of went away.
Mm-hmm.
And then this year, for somehow I must have missed the bulk of it, but I found them. We were in Detroit at a market, and the Girl Scouts had a table set up outside the market selling cookies. So I bought some. And recently at the home show in Midland, the Girl Scouts were upstairs selling cookies. So I bought some. What is the season? If I wanted Girl Scout cookies right now, where would I get them?
Yeah, so the season actually depends. Saginaw's a little different, which is kind of cool. Saginaw starts early. So Saginaw starts selling in mid-October, and we go through June. But the rest of the country starts in January. So if you're in Saginaw, you get like an extra 2 months to buy Girl Scout cookies.
Okay, so we're not in June yet. So that means I can still find Girl Scout cookies?
Yes, you should. They're a tad sparser, but yes, they're definitely still selling.
Where?
Again, if you go to our website, click on the Find Cookies button, and you just type in your location, and it tells you a booth near you.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
So what's that website? That's gshom.org?
Yeah. Yep.
And it's all there. Hang on a minute. We'll talk more about it. I've got to take a break. We're talking to Jordan Brown about the Girl Scout cookie fundraiser to send cookies to various folks who are serving our country. We will talk more with her when we return here on WSGW. Let me talk to you for a moment about our friends at Sanitary Mattress, because theoretically you spend a third of your life in bed, and you want to get a quality sleep, and you can do it on a Sanitary Mattress. Sanitary Mattress, of course, locally produced since 1935. The mattress you buy is made to your specifications. The money you spend stays right here in the local economy. And not only the mattress is made for you to your specifications, but they will deliver it within a 1 hour window so that you don't have to wait around all day. That's part of the service of Sanitary Mattress. And on top of that, if you have an RV or a boat, Sanitary Mattress will custom make a mattress for you to your exact size and specification, something the box stores can't do. Sanitary Mattress, factory and showroom. Visit them at 5343 Janes Road, right east of Harry Brown Airport. Or you can always find them online at sanitarymattress.com. Or you can call them 989-753-1757. Sanitary Mattress. We'll be back with Jordan Brown after these notes.
While you're comfortable inside your home or business, the weather takes a toll on your roof. Wind, rain, hail, UV rays, and the heat of the sun cause premature failure of your shingles. Everyone loves to save money. If you have an aging roof, don't spend a lot of money on replacement. Get a Roof Max shingle treatment and get some peace of mind. Get more life for less money. Guaranteed with Roof Max, a powerful fusion of science and nature. Call Ben today at 859-6751.
5G is here, but the big carriers want you to sign a pricey long-term contract to get access. Well, not anymore, because Straight Talk Wireless has rolled out 5G coverage nationwide with deals like our Silver Unlimited plan for just $45 a month and no contract. And get a Samsung Galaxy A32 5G for $249, all on America's best networks. 5G coverage, 5G phones, less money. Straight Talk Wireless, available at Walmart and Walmart.com. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial. ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
WSGW is your station for the Tigers. Castro.
Swinging a fly ball right field. This one's deep. Got a chance. Gone! Harold Castro's first of the year is a bomb deep to right, and the Tigers take a 3-2 lead in the ninth.
Tigers Baseball, brought to you in part by
Stan's Gold Mine and A-Plus Plumbing in Midland.
Detroit Tigers Baseball is on 790 News Radio WSGW. You are with WSGW in the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios.
And indeed, that's where I'm broadcasting from today rather than my home studio. Will be for the next few days. And we are talking to Jordan Brown from the Girl Scouts about Girl Scout cookies. And remind everybody again, this cookie fundraiser and how they can participate and where it goes. Whoops, just a minute, Jordan. Do it again. Start again. Okay. Go ahead.
So our fundraiser is called Hometown Heroes. And if you go to our website at gshom.org, or if you know a local Girl Scout, you can donate money to them, and then we will give cookie boxes to local hometown heroes who really need an extra smile, you know, whether that be first responders, hospital workers, or military members abroad.
Oh, wow. So that's a lot. Do you get to choose the cookie you want to send them, or are you just sending out random boxes?
So if you donate directly to a girl, you can, and the girls decide which hometown heroes get the cookies. But if you donate through the website to council, then it's, just kind of a variety of everything.
So let me ask you, Jordan, what is the most popular Girl Scout cookie?
Oh, Thin Mints.
Yes. Yes. Oh, they're so good. I mean, you know, if I fault the Girl Scouts for anything, it's for making an addictive cookie. And certainly you just can't eat just one, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah. The whole sleeve's gone as soon as you buy it.
Yeah, that's about it. I've started limiting myself to the number I take out of the sleeve. And then I put the box away so I can't cook it.
That's a good way to go.
Oh, my goodness, yes. And then dip them in hot coffee or something. Oh, wow. Why am I torturing myself like this? But I will go on the website to see who's selling them locally because I'm almost out. So I need to refill before it's too late.
Oh, yeah.
Has the cookie or the methodology changed over the years? Is it pretty much the same as it's always been?
As far as like the cookies themselves or the way the girls are selling it?
Both.
So the cookies themselves, we do swap them out occasionally, but you know, there's some staples like the Thin Mints and Tagalongs that are so popular, you know, they're never going to change. Everyone loves them.
Good.
But otherwise, you know, we try to throw a couple new ones in there occasionally to see if anything sticks, give people more options. And as far as the way girls sell, actually within the past 5 years, they've started being able to sell digitally as well. Because it's easier for some people, you know, they may have relatives who don't live near them. They can buy cookies from the girl online and just, you know, everything's kind of shifting online these days. So, Girl Scouts is keeping up.
All right. So let's remind everybody it's gshom.org. And you can donate to the Hometown Heroes fundraiser where they will get cookies from the Girl Scouts. And what What a neat thing to wake up and find out there's a box of Girl Scout cookies on your door. I love it. Sounds wonderful. Well, good luck with it. And you said you're pretty close to your 35,000.
Yeah, we're very close. Our goal is to get there by the end of the month. We're about, I think, 500 short.
All right. Let's hope everybody goes online and gives you a donation.
Yeah.
Jordan, thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Appreciate your time. Have a good day.
You too.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.
That's Jordan Brown from the Girl Scouts. A great fundraiser for Hometown Heroes. Kind of love it. We'll take our last break and move on to the market report from Baird & Company when we return.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural,